Hi, I'm Mikel Weisser. I'm the Democrat running for Arizona's 4th Congressional District, and I was up in Meadview today, August 9th, preparing to give a speech when they decided that they didn't want to hear from Democrats. So, we decided to film this for you so you can decide. My name is Mikel Weisser. I'm a former teen runaway, native Texan, grew up on the border of Texas. I moved to Arizona porque yo hablo poquito español. I share my humble beginnings because I believe the beauty of the American dream is that a man can remake himself in a better world if he tries. I didn't even learn how to type till I was 27, didn't really go to college till I was 30, worked as a plumber until I was 35, put myself through college as a carny first and then a homeless shelter administrator. I did freelance journalism part-time and had a political column going for about 25 years. I retired as a social studies teacher last year to do this full-time. I have 2 master's degrees. One from the University of Illinois at Springfield in English, and one from Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff in secondary education. I currently serve as the executive director and legislative liaison of SAFE Arizona. That's the state's cannabis reform pact. I'm also the vice chair of the Progressive Caucus of the state Democratic Party. I sing, I play guitar, I perform poetry and music, I travel around the Southwest. Love my wife, my kids, my grandkids, cats and dogs, and the beauty and the challenges of living in rural Arizona. Now I know that that's a long biography for an itty-bitty speech, and I understand that for many of you, none of it mattered after I said the word Democrat. But I've been a Democrat since I was in utero. I'm especially proud to be a Democrat out here in western Arizona. And some of you may know that my campaign slogan is, tell the right they're wrong. I mean that. You don't have to take it personally, but if you blindly hate everything that's Dem, you're going to hate the rest of this speech. Yes, that is my belief. Tell the right they're wrong. I'm a Democrat running because I believe the Republican Party has dominated our society, our laws, and our government since the 1960s, and their rule has come at a terrible price. Conservative values agenda has wrecked our social life, imperiled us globally, and gutted our economy just to serve the rich. I don't care which hometown patriotic values they claim to care about. The right only serve their corporate interest dollars. Like the way that their economic plans first dismantled Wall Street's security system, stole everybody's piggy bank, 6 million people's houses, stuck you with the bill, and then blame the poor and struggling to hide their tracks. That's the GOP. That's your Republicans. And this is just one example. Now, I could rant all day and not cover the highlights. And I could also not convince you, just the same way that some people didn't want to accept that Richard Nixon was a crook. And other people didn't want to accept that George Bush would lie to us 900 times about weapons of mass destruction, killing millions, stealing billions, and turning much of the world against us in our name. I know nobody wants to believe it, but folks, when it comes to domestic policy, foreign policy, and especially economic policy, the conservative values agenda has been wrong, dead wrong. Now, I know that many people will tell you I'm the enemy because I said that, just for thinking those things. Of course, they're the same people who will tell you I'm an enemy because I let my hair grow out sometimes, because I wear jeans and Chuck Taylors instead of pinstripes and wingtips, because I don't think that gays or immigrants are subhuman, because I drink and smoke and occasionally cuss. So I know that they're wrong about that because those things make me a lot like a lot of you guys. So I came here to bring you some new ideas. I'm tired of the same old GOP BS. Like, I believe in educating our children, in roads, in solar power. And I tell you people, this is Arizona in August. You step outside, you cannot not believe in solar power. Just saying. I believe our government is not supposed to treat me like an enemy, stick its nose into people's private business. I want the government off of my back and out of my bedroom, and as long as I'm not trampling on the rights of my fellow man, I want to be free to pursue my life, my happiness. And I believe we need to be conservative in some ways. We need to be conservative with our precious natural resources. We need to be conservative with the lives of our innocent children, especially after they're born. I also believe in Arizona's rugged independence, carving out your own vision and honoring your land and your country. I believe in encouraging innovation, that we owe something to our children. But I very much believe that we live in very dangerous times. Yet with all the problems we face on the global scale, the GOP wants to make sure we spend most of our time fighting against each other. Now, I believe America is worth fighting for and, if necessary, dying over. But I also think that we're worth living for as well. I wish more people believed that way. Then we might actually have a country that was of, for, and about the people. Now, here's some things that some of you are going to disagree with. Like, first, a lot of the messes that we have were made by Republican administrations. They may lie and wave a flag in front of us, but look who's been in power the last 40 years. Who's been in power? Who's to blame? Look at the way that presidents like Carter and Clinton and Obama were treated. Even though greatly different presidents, they all get attacked the same way. Relentlessly. Insanely. I think they want to waste our time with this nonsense. They want to squander our money. I don't think they want to solve problems that we hire them to fix because they're too busy slinging mud and begging for money. Like when Obama got elected in 2008, Mitch McConnell famously said his goal for the next 4 years was to obstruct Obama's efforts. And tell me what else they've really done lately except become very good at wasting our time and money. I also don't believe that immigrants are the cause of Americans' problems any more than they were 100 years ago when my grandparents were immigrants. They were just as poor, just as uneducated, and they didn't have any English. I don't believe that a person's right to be a religious fundamentalist extremist trumps everybody's right to their own reproductive rights. I don't believe that somebody's right to be a religious fundamentalist extremist trumps women's right to make their own reproductive choices. I don't believe that government services make us weaker, tax cuts create jobs, that every Democrat's after your guns, or that the 80-year prohibition on marijuana has been anything but a crime and a fraud against America. I'll tell you what I do believe in. I believe in education, jobs, and construction and innovation, in tourism and rural development. I believe we need to address the refugee crisis on our border, but we need to treat immigrants like people and treat children like children. I believe that corporations are not people and their rights are not superior to the rights of actual humans, and that we need a constitutional amendment to solve that problem once and for all. I also have proposals on issues like rural solar electrification, water reclamation, and one of our state's shapers of the new marijuana policy. And we're going to dismantle the federal system the same way we're dismantling Arizona's private prison system. There's so many things we could agree on. There's so many issues that the right will never work on for you. And there's only so little time before they drive our economy off the cliff again. I know that many of you have been true believers in the GOP for a long time, and I'm asking the honorable people in the audience to think about what they're doing, the way they act, who the Republican Party has become, and ask yourself, does the GOP really represent you these days? I hope you'll say no. I hope you'll join my fight.